What is up, boys? We are out at King of the Hammers 2025 on a nice Thursday. The weather is perfect and we are here to film another build breakdown. Actually, it's an updated build breakdown. This is a vehicle you guys have seen a build breakdown on before. If you haven't, you can go back and watch it, but he's had a bunch of work done to the front end, so I want to give you guys an updated version of this one-of-a-kind vehicle. All right, dude, you're pacing like you're nervous. You've been here before. You've done this before.
I'm excited, anxious.
For the people that didn't see the first one, why don't you go ahead, reintroduce yourself and tell us, your make and model before we dive into the nitty-gritty.
Raul Jordan, Fort Worth, Texas. This is 2019 Toyota 4RUNNER TRD Off-Road Premium. Do it again, redo it.
Like you were doing. He did it like he was doing like when the NFL players are doing the headshot.
Stanford University.
Raul Jordan, Fort Worth, Texas. You want to redo it?
Yeah, redo it.
Okay. I might keep all of this in, but you could redo it.
Motherfucker. Like
we said, we've seen you before. All the way down in San Diego, we did a whole walk around on this vehicle already. But how long has it been down? Like 4 or 6 months?
Right around June. Was when I pulled the trigger and started the snowball.
What I think is crazy is the last time we caught up, you're like, oh, I really want to work on the rear end. I'm going to cut into the cab, and make like big old shock towers or some sort of plan to make the rear end perform better.
But
then somehow you ended up redoing the complete...
ADD kicked in and I decided I needed to redo the front.
Yeah, and that's the snowball that has been... You said June?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what, almost 6 months, 7 months
Just
down?
due to parts. Waiting for parts is the biggest thing.
Yeah. You said OCD is what made you kind of go the route of the front end over the rear end. What was going on with the front that made you like...
Just wanted more.
More?
Yeah. Like
don't we all, buddy?
I like the stock coil buckets, they're thin tin metal. So it was just a matter of time, and I just started seeing like fatigue out of them where it was going to wear out and something catastrophic might have happened.
Yeah. So this is all for safety.
Yeah, safety first, kids. But
as poor Devin's getting tossed around the back seat on the way here with no seatbelt.
Yeah, and I'm the only one with like a real harness. These guys are getting tossed around in the cab.
It's all for safety.
I do it for my friends, not for my own. I do it for my friends' fun.
Okay, so I don't even know where to start with this since we're kind of showcasing the rebuild, but we also want to do the full thing again. Let's work from the front back. Let's just start with the bumper, the lights, and then we'll get into the
custom from bumper from Drew's Fab out in Fresno. We've reworked it, tweaked it, just added more additions to it to make it stronger, especially the lower pivot. We tied it into the JD Fab pivot kit that they have, so it's transfers all that impact more into the chassis instead of just the subframe.
And you got just a gang of XL80s.
XL80s, I love those ones. They're bright. They're bright enough for this thing. I'm not needing super far light, and I'm not outrunning these at all.
Well, first, I guess we should ask, are these aftermarket headlights?
Yeah, these are the new Morimoto
Okay.
XBs.
LEDs and all super bright and
stuff.
Yeah,
they even got fucking heaters in the lenses.
No way.
Yeah, so if like they freeze, they can thaw out.
Yeah, because you're out. You get snow in Texas?
No, we get ice.
Ice.
Yeah, we get ice storms.
So,
but
the reason
they're super fucking bright though.
Yeah, the reason I ask is how do you choose the setup of lenses on the XL80s? Because you got the 3 offset ambers here, and then you got 2 more pillar amber XL80s. So you're only pushing 2 direct beams of clear light
spots.
So I'm wondering if these were bright enough to compensate for the clearness.
These were added after all the bumper lights, so it doesn't even matter. Once these bumper lights are on, I can literally turn off the headlights. There's like, with the headlights on, even on high beam, you can't really tell. These things drown out all
So you have enough clear light coming just from those 2 spot XL80s.
Enough for me to have my eyes comfortable at night where I'm not like strained.
Yeah.
And it's enough where I can see far enough.
You're gonna keep the whole lens setup, you're not changing anything on it?
I mean,
you have a lot of ambers, because even your fog lights are ambers. You don't need any more clear?
It's like I got the Ronald McDonald car going. Insert soul song.
You don't think you're gonna change any of the ambers up to clears? Or you got enough clear?
Maybe. I mean, maybe switch it up to 3 clear, 2 amber, so that it's brighter, and then maybe switch up the patterns to where it's like all spot, just so that it's just thrown out there. But I have no complaints really. For what it is and what I do with it, the light setup is dialed for it.
Do you do a lot of nighttime off-roading?
The short course events we do in Texas end up running through the night, and then we end up doing like a few hours of night runs.
I was gonna say, what's the off-road scene looking like out in Texas? 'Cause
Crawling, it's all crawling.
when we met, you were coming out here, you were living out here at the time.
Yeah, in Palmdale. Palmdale.
So it made a little more sense to have a full build like this, but now that you're back in Texas, you still getting use out of it?
Not really. More.
Oh, it sounds like we gotta bring you back to Southern California.
I need this stuff, man.
You gotta come back out here.
Yeah, that's what this thing is getting geared towards. The build is desert, purpose built. Because the rear is what we set it up for crawling, and now the front has a damn race kit on it. So next time, hopefully next video, we'll do a rear update.
Yeah,
we'll see.
For sure. So let's get back into the build here. What glass are you running up front?
Advanced.
Advanced?
Advanced fiber. Advanced. What are they?
Advanced fiberglass.
Fiberglass. Sorry. Yeah, I cut the fuck out of them though. They used to be 3.5 inches flared, but now with the kit and everything, you end up cutting off fucking 35% of the whole fender.
Is this part of the original bumper right here?
Yeah.
That you had to tie into the glass?
Tie into the glass, and then it also ties into the headlight. And then in the rear of the fender, we made these custom mounts.
I think before we get into this, Wilwell, we need it to be known, we just talked about this like 5 minutes ago, that all this gappage is just from the core support sagging, because Toyota doesn't know how to make a good core support.
Yeah, these things aren't really, the core support isn't boogie rated.
So the fitment was better when it was originally put on.
When it was just street driven, but then once you start hitting some whoops and jumping, it starts sagging and cracking. Yeah, you can finger the damn thing. I feel violated now.
Anyways, yeah, so let's just move on to this sexy wheel and tire setup, dude. You're bougie. Are these brand new wheels?
Brand new wheel, brand new brake setup. KMC Mesa forged with the Willwood 6-piston. And then the Nitto Trail Grappler is 37-inch, 12.5, 17.
Those wheels are gorgeous with the gold
kind of like shimmers in it. Yeah, it kind of gives it
baller, dude, and it matches the whole locker in the center.
Yeah, I got the locker hub. That's from the race kit.
Yeah, so
we'll get into that.
I guess that's a good introduction here. Let's just start with the locker hub and kind of work our way into the kit, because right off the bat, it's a Solo Motorsports race kit, and Solo is one of the few companies that'll give you like every single piece you will need for the front end to be built, right?
Damn near. But yeah, it's a mixture of 3 people. I have Mitch Made's fabricated towers, the anti-dive towers, JD Fab lower pivot kit, and then the Solo Motorsports race kit. And then it was just a matter of me and Billy at B2P Motorsports. He's in Fort Worth. Just getting everything to work together, and after all, I'm really happy with it.
Well, let's go ahead and talk a little more in depth with this. So I know it's a lot, but can you rattle off everything that comes with the Solo kit?
Yeah, so it comes with the uppers, lowers, spindles. You get the steering upgrade kit if you want to upgrade to that. I went with their shock package as well, 2.5 and a 3.0 bypass. And then it comes with the axles with the free locking hub, which is pretty cool with these, because when I'm driving, these things just stay still. So if anything happens, I can just keep going. You don't have to replace a whole axle. Just free up the locker and it'll just keep going.
So you got the uppers, spindles, lowers, these lockout tabs. Do they come with the lockout or not?
The lockout kit is that's for part of the JD Fab lower pivot kit, and that's like everything got cut out, all the old stock pivots, and then we re-welded everything back, and then it just makes everything a lot stronger, and you can get a lot more adjustment out of it as far as like caster and stuff.
Dude, these tie rods are nice.
Super beefy.
These are gorgeous.
Everything's clearanced like super perfectly, real well.
It comes with the brake lines too, right?
The brake lines are custom.
Oh, custom brake lines?
Yeah. They came with the brake lines, but yeah, those ones are custom just so I could get red.
These spindles are so nice too, dude. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, I think Solo does something with the steering, the location to help with bump steer with the race kit. These things are a lot more improved compared to like the regular long travel.
Yeah, the Solo kit's tied into, like you were saying, Toyota's got those weaker coil buckets. So
Yeah.
you got all these aftermarket sort of towers welded in here, huh?
So the thing is, with this kit, Solo runs 10-inch coilover, so we had to cut out that coil bucket. Solo has their option where it cuts out the coil bucket and then it has an additional hoop to mount the bypass. But then I decided, and I was looking online, and I came across these towers, and that it corrects the anti-dive, and it just helps with like on dirt characteristics when it comes to driving. And a lot more stronger, also a way stronger option too. Yeah, so we had to cut off everything. It comes with a massive frame plate on the frame, so everything's reinforced. And it drives like a go-kart on the road. It's kind of, it's very darty. And then on dirt, it's nice. I really like it. It's better, it's more improved for sure.
What do you think were some, I wouldn't say like issues, but like the hard parts of putting this whole kit in and getting the whole front end redone?
Getting everything to work.
Yeah.
Like making sure the towers are placed in the right spot so that the kit from Solo can cycle correctly, and then having the lowers and just making sure everything geometry wise is still like according to what Solo wants with their kit.
Yeah.
But after talking with Mitch and JD, we just got a few measurements from Solo, and we kind of revised the towers themselves so that they work with this kit.
Yeah, that's sort of the downside to starting to like Frankenstein something and get like one company's parts to work with another company's parts, because everybody builds off the stock platform, you know?
Yeah, they never, it's always different. There's little differences.
So what about these shock specs?
2.5 coilover and 3.0 bypass, 10-inch.
Damn, dude, there's a reason I didn't bring my truck out this weekend, and it's because I didn't want to be put to shame.
No, we're all equal here. Everyone's here. Everyone's here to have fun.
We're definitely not all equal, okay? We just came blasting through this gnarly little wash, and I guarantee you my front end would be 10 miles that way, my truck would be sliding 8 miles that way.
Shit.
We're not all equal.
Hey, we're having fun though.
We are. We're all having fun.
That's all that matters.
Something that I did touch on last night when we caught up and you got in was the bushings. I mean, it's a very small, minuscule part of this build, but
it's a small little thing, but it's a big detail that helps with a big problem, which is body deflection.
Yeah.
The stock OEM bushings can deflect like up to an inch. Mm-hmm. And depending on like clearances, as you can see, like my ABS module is like almost up on top of the bypass. That deflection alone will just clash with everything. So we put these energy bushings in that are a lot more stiffer, a lot less deflection.
Yeah, this is
still has some, but it's not as bad as like a full-blown solid body mount or the bushing. Sorry.
Yeah, that's something I definitely need to look into.
It's a good thing because it helps with the body and it helps with like fender clearances, because these things, it's inevitable blowing out a fender or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna wrap around this way just because the tires are turned good for it, but in that talk of bushings and body mounts and stuff, you mentioned that you got the DRT cab mount relocation tucked back there.
Yeah, that's to clear the 37s, and then we also did the firewall, cleared the firewall out, and then as you could tell, like 85% of my inner fender is gone.
Yeah, I forgot to, it was hiding behind the bypass, but you want to talk about the bump stop dimensions too?
Bump stops are just some 2.0s. 2.0, you do the job. They fit, it's just everything. Like when I say clearances, everything is super tight, especially when this droops out, it gets, they just, everything kisses.
Yeah. So the big question that we're all gonna have now that we've seen what you've done to the front is, do you know what it cycles?
15 and a half.
15 and a half?
We're at 15 and a half, and we kept it kind of conservative just to be safe.
What does this kit
they advertise it at 19, and I believe that's with 2-wheel drive.
Okay.
And that was another thing is, something is like getting these 3 kits to work is we weren't able to get all of it due to differences of the 3 different companies with on the Solo kit. But after everything got finessed and massaged and everything can clear and work, we got a solid 15 and a half. Mm-hmm. Which is good for 4-wheel drive, I think, in my opinion.
That's one of the things about Solo is they will advertise a very high number. They advertise 19, but some people will put it on and be like, oh, what the heck, I'm only cycling like, you know, like 14, like a normal kit. And it's because sort of like in the fine details of you are able to achieve 19, but that's with a lot of clearing upwards. Yeah, you need to take out those wheel wells, you need to push them up a lot higher, relocate a bunch of stuff in the engine bay so you can get the extra 4-5 inches of up travel out of that way. And so
that was the biggest improvement on this kit versus the old kit, is I gained about 4 inches of up travel in the front.
Yeah. And up travel, I mean, huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Very big. I mean, just that alone, it was a huge difference before. And especially after like a good tuning session, and once I get the rear like addressed properly, this thing's gonna be fun. It's fun now.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, we were fucking laughing, giggling in there. Had oh shit moments.
Now we're getting into familiar territory. People
Yeah, you guys have seen this. It's nothing new.
But
we just had.
I mean, there's probably a lot of new people to the channel since we filmed that. It's been years.
True. We got a 3-link in there with just kind of garage built. We used a bunch of rough stuff parts and just kind of went to town. It's my first time ever like setting up an off-road vehicle, so there was trial and error. But yeah, it's a 3-link with 14-inch coilover, dual rate. It cycles right at 14, so everything's 1-to-1, the motion ratio pretty much.
Nice.
It gets down. It has all the down travel though. Yeah, the next goal is to obtain my up travel back and see if I can get all the way up to the frame with the axle. But with these SUVs, it's a whole endeavor. You got a lot of extra variables to consider when building the rear of an SUV.
Are you ever dragging those rear shock lower mounts?
When I was crawling, that was one thing, is they grab. That was one thing I wish I would have known when setting these up, is like, hey, either go with the shorter shock so that they're up more and landed on top of the axle so they don't drag, but lesson learned.
I mean, as long as you're not beating the shit out of them right now,
yeah, like
fine.
they've never like smacked anything like going at speed.
Yeah.
I think the 37s help with the ground clearance too.
Because I think this is your lowest hanging point on the entire build.
Yeah.
It's lower than the diff for sure.
Yeah, so I definitely have to be mindful where I put the line on, like where I pick my line.
Yeah.
We'll find out. 10 days out here, we'll find out.
Drive shaft, did you have to do custom work for a slip, or
Still
is this all stock? Really?
Still stock.
Where'd you go?
As far as the rear power drivetrain, we just put regear 488.
Okay.
ARB 488. As you can tell, we relocated the battery back here.
Yeah, I saw that. What bumps you have back here? Are these 2x4?
2x4, but we shortened them 2 inches.
In your perfect world, what do you want to do to the rear end? You still want to cut into the cab and send the shock?
Yeah,
top
it's gonna be a 4-link fuel cell. Just pull the trigger and gut the dang thing and just like start cutting.
So what about this rear bumper?
Just a custom bumper. We made it in Dallas. Just kind of wanted something high and tight so that I had a good approach angle, something light and that could take a hit. Because all these other bumpers, you see them, they're just real bulky and big and they weigh down. ICS third brake light.
Rocking some S2s. Speaking of S2s, you got some hidden ones back.
Those are the tailgater haters. Those will push the tailgaters away real fast, and their spots too, so that they're directed right at their eyes.
He's got some like Mario Kart type trap set in his vehicle.
Yeah, my oil slick is set up so I can put oil traps on the road.
And drop like spikes too.
Yeah.
Dropping nails out of the back. What about this massive whip that
big
lit
old
up
buggy whip?
This lit up our entire camp last night, actually.
It's super
what is it?
bright.
Is it a 6 foot?
6
8
foot? Yeah, 6 foot. Safety, man. It's really more for safety. My area where I sit, this is the cockpit.
Oh, dude, this is pretty. You got all your switches in here. Is this the Bluetooth one?
Yeah, that's the Bluetooth one.
Dude, baller. You got that, you got more switches here, you got your scan gauge.
Front locker, ARB compressor.
Oh, see what I like here is you got this quick release NRG steering wheel, but you mounted all the stock controls
buttons,
still right here.
The other side broke off, hitting some chatter, but yeah, it's just so that I could change the radio and answer phone calls and just do the regular stuff through the dash.
Yeah.
But PRP Podium Elite, I like it. It keeps me sitting there because the stock seat, I'm real small frame, so it's like I'm trying to fight.
Is this miso?
Shifter.
Is this miso?
That's all miso, yeah.
Miso, dude.
The Hell Taco guy.
We love miso.
That guy's
we're big miso guys.
He's cool to go.
Anything in the back? Oh, dude, you got a Devon back here. That's wild.
There's a Devon.
Does this come with the build, or do you have to add this aftermarket?
He's aftermarket.
Oh, sweet, sweet.
Yeah, I'm not really
I had to affirm him.
Had to make payments on it. You might get repoed, buddy. So, what about this crossbar right here? Where does it tie in at?
To this B pillar, and there's
so
some tie-in plates in there.
It's bolted on?
Yeah, it just bolts on.
Nice. Bolted on. Does it bolt into the floor?
No, just through the side pillar.
Oh, right here. So bolt onto the side pillar crossbar just for the harnesses, right?
Yeah.
Does it do any rigidity as far as like body roll or anything?
Yeah, with body roll maybe, but I couldn't tell you. But I would like to add a sway bar to this thing too.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Let's do a quick disclaimer here, not to take away from our buddy or his build here, but I heard this one time when I was younger, and it's a good point for the people that do a sort of crossbar right here just for the harnesses.
Just be very careful.
Yeah, the harnesses, they're keeping you in place, right? You can't move. So if you were to roll over and you're harnessed in, stuck in the seat, and you have no cage to stop the roof from coming in, it could definitely crush your head, versus if you just have a normal over-the-shoulder belt, you can like move your shoulder and lean sideways. So
Yeah,
it's a little scary.
Don't have the mentality of thinking you're caged because you're harnessed in.
Yeah, the harnesses with no cages can be dangerous. Just putting the disclaimer out there to the people.
Yeah.
But I think the last thing we didn't touch on is gonna be these sliders right here.
Oh yeah, some Facebook Market find.
Dude, you're a big rock crawler. I don't know why you said you're not rock crawling. You got the sliders.
I was a big crawler, yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, but yeah, I found those on Facebook Market. They were rusted over, just refinished them, and I like them. I haven't really like slammed the damn thing on a rock or anything like that, but I put some weight onto them.
We could fix that.
Yeah, we'll find out.
You
can go to Cougar Buttes.
You said this is your first time, right?
Yeah.
There's this cool spot called Chocolate Thunder that I think you could easily climb.
You think I got that?
Yeah, dude.
I think I got it.
You got rock sliders?
I just locked the fucking hubs, right? That's all I gotta do, lock hubs.
Okay, dude. Well, is there anything else you think we missed? If anything, go watch the original if you want to see the original build before we went ahead and covered this full rebuild. You can see what it used to be. Maybe there's something in there that we missed this time around.
More and more will keep happening to it.
Yes. With that being said, thank you so much for giving us the updated walk around. Congratulations on a gorgeous front end.
Thank you.
That thing's beautiful, and I'm super stoked to ride in it today.
Welcome to my party.